Hey, it's Kina Knisley with Keller Williams, and I am in Honolulu, Hawaii. And today I am lucky enough to have Fields Ferguson from Mississippi, but I'm going to let him tell you exactly where in Mississippi. So, how are things in Mississippi?
Yeah, it's cold today. We got a cold front, which I'm assuming you do not over there.
It's raining. I mean,
Yeah.
which we rarely get, so it's a big deal if we get rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather have rain than this. But I'm in the Starkville, Mississippi and Columbus, Mississippi area. And for those who don't know, if you know MSU football, Mississippi State University football, that's Starkville. And then if you know Columbus Air Force Base, that's Columbus. So
Oh,
those are two areas I represent.
I did not realize we had a military base in Mississippi.
We do.
So,
We're a great training squadron, and we do heavies and fighters over here.
so are they moving there and buying, or are they just there for training?
So it depends. If you're coming here for training, you're most likely not going to buy. But if you are a FATE, which is a instructor pilot, then you will go away and then come back. And usually, when they come back, that's when they're buying because they'll be here for 4 years.
Okay.
Um, but the rest of it, obviously it's a full functioning base. So there's traffic controllers and other other departments over there as well. Then those people usually buy because they're going to be there for 4 years.
Yeah. So what's the average price point for a single family home there?
Okay, so Columbus and Starkville are, though they're only 30 minutes apart, they range in price. So Columbus, I would say is closer to 210, 215 for a house.
Wow.
And
A
then
whole house?
a whole house, yes.
Okay,
Those
let's talk about this whole house. Like
yeah.
how many square feet?
3 bed, 2 bath, 1,600 square feet. You can
So
get anywhere from
210.
210 to 250, depending. Um, and you can get a less than that, of course. That's just what our average is. In Starkville, it's a little higher, where it's closer to 300 would be the average price home for just, a good 3 bed, 2 bath home.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
now what about rentals? Is it a good place for an investor to buy those up and rent them back? Can they cash flow?
Actually, yes. So obviously, compared to the rest of the United States, we have a lower cost to buy homes. And so we do see a lot of out of state investors that'll come in and buy smaller properties and rent them out. Still you have the scale of, they're cheaper properties, but you can't, get San Francisco priced rent. I would say the average rent right now for a 3 bed, 2 bath can be anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 a month. Um, and so obviously you got to make sure your numbers make sense
Yeah.
and with what you're doing. But still, our area, Mississippi itself, and I forget these numbers to be honest, but we were one of the top states in GDP growth this past year. And then our area specifically was like the top one or two areas in Mississippi for GDP growth. So we're seeing a lot of industry and a lot of jobs move here. And that's also why it makes sense to do rentals and Airbnbs and things like that.
Yeah. So what kind of industries are moving there? Why else are people moving there if it's
Yeah.
not just
So
strictly military?
what's yeah. So other than military, I'm trying to think of the name. ADPs that are aluminum dynamics. Yeah, aluminum dynamics. ADI. Sorry, is what it's called. It's a new aluminum plant that moved here, and they just I think this year's the first year that they're actually running. So that provided a lot of jobs for people around here. They produce aluminum. We also have Steel Dynamics, produces steel, same size almost in industry size. Then we also have International Paper, produces paper. Um, and then we have Stark Aerospace, Airbus, which, helicopters, that's what they do. Stark does missiles, I believe.
Oh,
And so we have a lot of those industries, but we're also getting a fifth one, major industry. What our area has done well is they've prepared land to be for big industries to come in. So they'll put the sewage and electricity and the gas lines out, waiting for a big industry to come by it. And so that's what they're doing. Um,
wow.
so we've seen a lot of growth because of that alone. And of course, when you get the big industry, you get the smaller companies that come with it.
Yeah, you have to have the
So
infrastructure. So
yeah, so we're just seeing jobs here. Good
that's
jobs, like
incredible.
great for
Wow.
our area.
Yeah. So what's fun to do there?
Well, I think there's a lot of fun things. I grew up on the edge of the Delta in Mississippi. For those who don't know, the Delta is can be a very sad place because it's just flat and you can't. There's no mountains. You don't see. You can literally see like 30 miles out. I mean, it's just flat all over the place, farmland. And so there we had nothing to do. I mean, the only thing we had to do is eat, and that's all we did. So coming here, for me, I was easily entertained with the fact that we had a movie theater and a bowling alley, and that was all I needed. Uh, but beyond that, we do have a lock and dam and river right beside us where people will get out on their boats, hunt and fish. We have public land for hunting for people who do that, and also fishing. Of course, we're right beside Starkville is an SEC town for those football fans, college football fans out there. So we have football, and we also have college baseball, volleyball. I mean, all the sports. So if you're a sports fan, we have a lot of those games going on constantly in Starkville. Other than that, Columbus itself is a historical town. During the Civil War, I believe, we were a hospital town, and so a lot of our infrastructure remained. It didn't get burnt down like a lot of other towns during the Civil War. So we actually have a great history of antebellum homes, Victorian style homes from the
Oh,
early 1900s and even the 1800s that are just you can't see anywhere else. And so in the spring, we'll have a pilgrimage where people will dress up and you get to tour all these homes, and there's like a whole guided thing to it.
oh, how
Um,
fun.
you kind of relive that area. Columbus is also known for its Friendship Cemetery, which is a cemetery for both sides of the Civil War. And
Oh,
that is, well, and we claim this, but there's been some debate, but we're where Memorial Day started because of the
oh,
nurses laying, I think it was either flags or flowers on the graves of all the soldiers, no matter which side it was,
yeah.
and started from there. So, yeah, we have, like I said, I think we have tons to do. Some would argue, but
Yeah, no, it sounds super interesting. I'm kind of like,
yes,
I didn't know any of that.
yeah, it's small town, small town fun and great community here for sure.
So, wow. Well, that is awesome. So now, do you, are people coming in with cash at that price at 200,000, or are they still coming in and getting mortgages? I mean, I'm sure our
So,
veteran or VA buyers
yeah,
are because no money down is
yeah,
good.
I mean, it's easy that way. Yeah, so it just depends. Columbus, you're going to see more of a mortgages, and Starkville, you'll it's a big mix. The reason why, I mean, for we are a low income area in Columbus, and so a lot of we actually have USDA loans here, which a lot of people don't know what those
Oh,
are.
yeah, we have those. We have an area of the island.
Yeah,
Most people
so
don't.
our whole area is USDA, our
Oh,
whole
wow.
Lowndes County, and so anybody can come in if they approve or if they're approved for it, then they can come in with 0% down. So we see a lot of USDA, FHA, VA loans. Of course, because we're a military base area, we have a lot of VA. In Starkville, because we do have a good, I would say, a good condo market, we see a lot of cash buyers there. We also see a lot of cash buyers in general for any of the homes because usually it's parents buying it for their kids so they can live
Yeah.
in it instead of going on campus. And then, but yeah, still FHA, less VA there, but still you'll have VA and FHA and USDA loans there as well.
So now with your condos, what's the average price point on those?
Oh man. So specifically on condos, it's a hard range. And I'm honestly, I don't know what the average would be because you have there's such a wide range. Right now, you could buy a condo for 150 or 180, I would say.
Yeah.
That has a good condo association involved with it. Where on the opposite end, you can buy almost $1 million condo. Um, just on the other side of town. So yeah, I would say most likely it's somewhere in the middle of that five four
Yeah.
hundred to $500 range for condos, because of that big range there. Though I would say that's more of an average rather than the median. I don't know what the
Yeah.
median number is.
But
Um,
no, are
but
you guys having issues with insurance there also?
Mostly for roofs. If the
Yeah.
roof is above 10 years old, that's when we're going to see a flag on insurance.
Yeah.
And not that the insurance company won't give insurance; they're just going to hike the premium up for for our clients.
Yeah.
I have had times when the insurance company said, we will not insure this home unless the roof is fixed.
Yeah, we're seeing that now too. And I mean,
Yeah,
it used to be 30 years. Now it's only 10. I'm like,
yeah. And
what's going
I
on?
think I've heard there's a lot of fight against that. Hopefully it's going
I
to
hope
be
they
down the
win.
pipeline.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
it's
do too.
crazy.
But I would say I mean, we're not in like I mean, of course you have the flood zone, you have some flood zone areas, but we're not in a big hurricane area. We don't have earthquakes here. So I will say compared to a lot of other areas, we have less problems with
Wow.
insurance.
Well, awesome. Well, is there anything you want people to know about living or something great about your area?
Yeah, that's a great question. One thing I will say is that obviously with the economy and where we are, and the way inflation is, there are a lot of areas that are becoming just too expensive for people to live. So we are seeing a lot of people just move into our area because it's just cheaper to live in Mississippi. We in the next 5 years will eliminate income tax, which is a major plus.
Oh,
Yeah, and so that's good. I will say, relatively, like in our area, I can't speak for the whole state, but relatively, we're just cheaper in a lot of ways. Now, of course, that can always change.
yeah.
But I was talking to a couple today who just moved here from Washington, and they were asking if they could find rentals between $800 and $1,200 because they want to save money to buy a house. I was like, oh, absolutely. And, it was real easy. We used Zillow, just got on Zillow and found them one that would work just fine. Whereas where they were from in Seattle,
Oh,
that would be unheard of.
oh
And
yeah.
so,
It's not going to
yeah,
happen. That's
I,
like
so
here.
I, for me, a numbers guy, and just like, I drive a Prius because I like the gas mileage I save on it. I love living here because of the cost of living, but also we're just small town. I mean, we are you get to know your neighbors, you get to know your community very well, and there's a lot of community fun events that are, it's not flashing lights and it's not amusement parks, but it's a lot of wholesome fun. So we just had our Wassel
Okay.
Fest this past week or the a couple weeks where you go downtown and all the stores serve wassail and you judge them and who did the best. And
Oh,
what
how fun.
doesn't cost you anything. You just walk around and have fun, and there's hundreds of people there. So
Yeah.
it's great. I'm a big fan. I've been lived here for a while.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us
Yes.
today. So this has been Kina with Real Talk about real estate, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.